So, wait a minute. What's my level again? I could just wait off on those. Level 20, yeah. You can't see that because the face cam's covering up that, but it's like level 29 and yeah, like 1/3. So that's still a little bit of a ways away. So fuck it, we'll just throw it in for the. Let's just go. Let's just go for the loot boxes. And the other one's level 35 too, not level 30. So yeah, all right. Well, now we go for the boss rush. I need to get my hands back on the assigned positions. Martin, how did it get worse? How did it get worse? Explain to me how Battlefield 5 got worse. It already kind of doesn't have any redeeming qualities about it, aside from being a somewhat competent first-person shooter in terms of running around and shooting people in the face. How did it get worse? Blap! Well, they're dead. Okay, more boxes. Good. Wife still got it. Blap! Jesus Christ! She got her crit skill. Oh no. I will be upgrading the wife at some fucking point here, but yeah, The backup fleet's kind of taking up all the skill books. She will get her upgrades one day, though. Done. Oh, look, a purple box. Good. Very good. Very good. Good job, sweetheart. She still kind of hates me. Don't worry, next week. Next week. You mark my words, next week. So Martin didn't actually explain how the hell Battlefield 5 got worse. I saw glimpses of the airborne mode during the some of the alpha footage that people posted, and it was buggy as all fuck. Also, one thing you didn't see in that video was me putting a pack gun on a half track and having the pack gun slingshot the half track around. I couldn't find a good place for that, but yeah, that game is definitely it's a beta, and if it was it would have been hilarious if it launched next month. Would have been absolutely fucking hilarious. Ooh. Up to love stuff, Fonto. I'm working on that. I'm working on. I'm working on here, but I can't see what the affection is. So we'll just kind of I'll let her get the taste of combat. She's being MVP every single time we go out, so she'll handle it. Oh right. Oh right, Sunday. Right. It's Saturday. I can't do all of them, but we got up a couple of boxes, so let's go see what's in the boxes. Thanks, honey. That didn't even sound that didn't even sound begrudging. She didn't even sound like she wanted me to die out there. Ooh. And a Barracuda. Can we tier up? Yes, we can. One Sakura box. Advanced boy. Oh, it's the Shimakaze boilers. Oh, okay. Right. So what do those do? I think I could give Warspike though. No, she already has those guns. She already has those guns. Actually, Hood cannot equip those guns. Okay, so what about Tennessee? Can Tennessee equip the... No, Tennessee cannot equip those guns. Only Warspite has, like cruiser armament secondaries. What about Indy? Indy cannot equip those guns. Portland, can you equip those guns? No, you can't. California. Can you equip the blap gun? No, you cannot equip the blap guns. Okay. Okay, so... Who can I really give this to? Well, whatever. Cruiser Elga. What's more? Let's see. They're 152mm guns. These things. Okay, these are... It doesn't actually show me what the class requirements are on the thing. That needs to change, most likely. But apparently they're light cruiser guns, even though they don't look very light. But okay, fine. I don't actually have any light cruisers. No, don't enhance. Or don't disassemble at all. No, back. And the main screen thing goes up to 90 affections from it, Bond? What, excuse me? What thing? Alright, so... Can I even click on that? She's at crush right now. Something good is going to happen. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Oh Lord Almighty! Her final limit break is 10,000. Oh boy, oh boy, and we need 2 gold bullets. Oh boy, that's gonna be expensive. That's gonna be very expensive. Oh boy, but her firepower that's a lot of that's a lot of bump to. That's a very big bump to her stats. So she's okay with our stats so far. Let's see. So missions. Claim victory 1 time. How about that? Right. Challenge. Right. Also, now we need to go build stuff. Right. So we've got to build for that challenge really quickly here. That's the guild, though. How do we level up the guild? The guild is very small. We get 26 members at least. If I know how to level the guild myself, I will take upon this duty, but I have no idea how the fuck to do that. Don't forget the dorm. I already went into the dorm though. But okay, so lights. Right, so build. Well, no, well, we can get 4. We can get 4. There is a guild, however, it's chronically full. Hey, Spence. What's this? Raleigh. These are all junk. Or rather, these are all boats we already have. Except, well, we have her, but apparently she's hard. There goes my luck. There goes my luck again. Yes, and a foot. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna go play the story now, since there's literally nothing left to do. Well! Midnight Fright. But it's not Halloween yet, I can't do my memes. But you know what, we've got 2 good fleets here, so let's go do this. Okay, the Sakura have disrupted our supply shipments to Savo Island. Provide escort for our next shipment. Okay. We've got 2 very scary looking fleets, so I think we can handle this. Okay, level 35. So let's put the secondary fleet through its paces here and see what they can do. They should be adequately leveled for this, or at least to absorb some of the lesser enemies. So we can save the first fleet to actually kill things. Kill the important things. The big, scary, important things. Their damage is a little bit, not good, but you know what? They have hit points. They'll survive this. All I have to do is just sit there. Just sit there. And blap things. Well, there's the radium shielding. Oh boy, that did basically nothing. Ah, well, that... Double radium shields. Their damage is a little bit low. However, their hit points are more than adequate for basically running headfirst into anything we send them in. So they're gonna take a little while to kill stuff. But they've got the hit points to just kind of absorb a fleet or two to keep the main fleet alive, which is kind of what I wanted them for anyway. Okay, Hermes. We got another Yu-Gi-Oh player. Huygen is MVP, and no one is surprised. Okay, emergency repair. They actually could use that. It's not very good, but, well, it keeps them running. This fleet, as I said with this fleet, basically what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to be a bunch of meat shields. Radioactive hulks that we send in to absorb some of the lesser enemies, so that the main fleet can concentrate on the high-level enemies, larger fleets, and the boss. So it makes clearing the map a little bit easier. However, they could use some help with some damage. And also, their Yorktown immediately takes a fucking suicide boat to the face. You, probably kill those boats, guys. Probably kill those boats. This, Jesus. Oh boy, lots of torpedoes, lots of torpedoes. Oh, they missed. Okay. Sure, whatever. Eh. Blah! Nice! Very good time for those sunglasses. Very good time for those sunglasses. And a ranger. How about that? So, now these engagements are seeming very meaty here. I'm kind of glad I have this fleet here, or clearing these maps would be a kind of an issue. But the secondary fleet, yeah, their damage is a little low. So we're gonna need to get them some more equipment. But, they're doing okay. That hurt a lot, though. I'm sensing a pattern here for how much they're not actually effective in this opening stage here, where we don't actually kill any of the boats. And Yorktown is... Funny enough, Yorktown's the weakest link here, it seems like. Which is exactly kind of what I didn't want to see, but, oh well. I know carriers are squishy, but this is just comes down to the fact that the Vanguard fleet just simply doesn't have enough damage to blap things fast enough. I didn't think it would be this bad, but it is actually this bad. Okay. You're making Huygen try. She's now interested. You have her attention. Okay, it seems like they can handle probably another one of those before we have to consider their damage, or rather, consider their hit points. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt, Kadyusha, about the open bit. Oh boy. Oh boy. And they haven't actually fixed anything, so I can't actually even go and stream it myself. Oh, what a shame. Yorktown got MVP, but still the weak link. She's doing probably the most damage with her airstrikes because I don't have upgrades, or rather a good enough equipment for the frontline force. The only problem is she still has the weakest armor of the entire force, and her getting hit by suicide boats really fucking hurts. Oh boy, that was a bad hit. Alright, as I'm directing the waifus here, Martin, Kadyusha, so, would you say that Battlefield 5 is in a state that would actually be repairable within 2 months? You think they can fix everything in the game in 2 months? No, Martin says no. Kadyusha, what about you? Oh boy. He wants to play, yeah, right. Nope, okay, so the Kadyusha says he's reminded of better games that he should be playing right about now, or could be playing right now. Right, so, completely off topic for what we're doing here, that's your sign to just ignore Battlefield 5. Really, with everything going on around Battlefield 5, it's kind of like you would have to sit in and be as devoted as the Destiny players have been to keeping Destiny 2 alive. That's the college try for a video game. I don't think Battlefield 5, with everything going on around it, deserves that college try. So basically, my opinion is, don't buy the game at all and let it burn. But remember, like I said, use your mind and use your own mind and get multiple opinions. I'm gonna play the game because it's work, but this is my views on the situation. If the game's shit at launch, there really shouldn't be any sort of like benefit of the doubt here that it'll get better, because they don't really deserve the time to get better. They should have delivered a good game at launch. Actually, that's kind of funny too, because you can say comments about the social justice warrior influences on Battlefield 5, and the German equipment is all the good stuff. Okay, so this fleet has actually, yeah, about 1 combat left in them. So actually, yeah, it might be dangerous, but we might lose Portland, so let's not do that. So let's just switch over to the main fleet and have them run through things. Quite the difference here with the wife, isn't it? I used it immediately. Jesus Christ. And we're done. Quite the difference with the level 70 fleet, huh? I wouldn't call Far Cry 5's gameplay anything to write home about as well, though. It was entertaining for stupid shit, but it just kinda, it was there. And I don't consider neutral a good thing. Okay, new splash screen when I opened the game was that of a kraut female medic with steampunk goggles. Oh boy. Oh boy. You see, that's another thing as well. When you're playing Battlefield 5, actually, when you're in the grand scheme of things, there being female player models, it doesn't really matter because you didn't really notice anything. Mainly because we don't actually have character creation or the character customization yet. But it didn't seem too jarring in-game. It's just that the way it's promoted through the game's artwork and its promotional material really doesn't feel right. But in game, it's honestly it's basically like, oh, there's a drop-down menu where you can select a male player model and a female player model, and it affects about as much as you'd think it affects. It's just that having it in the marketing material really just sent some really confused, odd signals. And it seems like EA's paying the price for that. Mainly because, in addition to that, they didn't really have all that great of a marketing campaign for the game anyway. Yeah, Ancient, it's kind of like, you see, that's the thing. With Battlefield 5, I was thinking about this, honestly. With Battlefield 5, they really needed to go back to basics. But they continued off of the shit that they were doing with Battlefield 1, which was a mistake. What they needed to do was just like, okay, Battlefield 5 had some nice things about it, but just go back to, like, re-examine the class system. The gadget system, I think, is the one major fucking screwed up thing about the game, because it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And it just makes it hard to figure out what the hell the classes are supposed to be doing. Ancient, the lack of extra ammo is because you're supposed to be relying on your support players. However, once again, they're just trying to fool stupid people into working together. And it's not really working that well. The thing is, it's kind of funny because the support players, the people who like that slower game, don't really like Battlefield 5 because of the shooting and how it doesn't really slow down. But the fun thing is, the people who actually like that kind of gameplay, the people who like the racetrack syndrome, they're complaining because they don't have enough ammunition and they have to run back to supply depots because there aren't enough support players playing around. So this tells you that Battlefield 5 is pleasing nobody with what it's doing, and it's gonna fail. It's gonna be a disaster. When you get resupplied by them, they only give you 7 bullets for your primary. I am not what? Wow. That's bad, but I like being support player. I like being a support player in video games too. I like being the, whatchamacallit. One thing, when I was playing, I forget what the name was, but there's a Japanese-only Gundam game. I forget what the name was. But it was one of those games where it was really kind of janky and hard to get into. So what did I do? I couldn't really understand anybody because it's Japanese only. I needed a proxy to play the game. I needed to forge my papers. And then I played the game, and I didn't really have that great of equipment, and everybody else, you know, combat was kind of hard to understand. But here's the thing. You don't need to learn Japanese or any other language to read health bars. So what did I do? I played the engineer, like, repair Zaku, and I just patched people up. And, you know, all the Japanese players were just sending emotes at me that, was a thanks, as I was patching up their mobile suits. I got I got the amphibious repair Zaku. And I was just kind of like, the people were fighting and they were ducking back down in the water, and I was just like, okay, stand still, and just, zapping the hulls, repaired up in their Zakus. I like being a support player. The only problem is Battlefield 5's gameplay is too fucking fast. And fast in the wrong ways. People will complain that it's too slow, but really the shooting, you need to, it doesn't need to be Arma, but it really needs to look at Arma and understand how Arma's slow. But, if they slow the game down and they slow the shooting down, it'll piss the fucking people who like the racetrack syndrome off. Yeah, that's the thing. Battlefield 5, the gameplay with Battlefield 5 in that fortifications are useless, and the shooting is too fast, and it just lends people... People like the shooting. People say, like, the shooting, the gunplay is the best part of Battlefield 5. The only problem is, it's so fast that the gameplay moves so quickly, and the map design as well. The map design facilitates rapid movement in random fucking directions that a front line never never forms. And the fortifications are immediately abandoned because it's so easy to move around, and it's better that you move around because you get more points that way. So really, the problem is the assaulting players are outrunning their support players, and the support players can never set up properly because they never actually have a place to actually set up with the assaulting players. They never catch up. So the game's too fast, but I don't think anyone really wants to change it. There's not enough initiative to change that part. So really what you're gonna get here is a game for the Call of Duty crowd, or rather the adrenaline racetrack syndrome shooters that they won't like because they actually have to slow down and, rely on their team because they don't have enough ammo to keep on this fucking perma-sprint racetrack. And a game that the slower people aren't gonna like because the shooting's too fast, and every time they walk out, they get immediately shot to death. So, the game's gonna please no one, and it's not gonna be fixed in time for launch. You need to rip the game, a lot of the core systems out of the game and redesign them. But again, off topic. You need to absolutely tear out everything and go back and redesign the map design and the classes. The classes need an overhaul. They need to get rid of all of the Battlefield 1 shit, which kind of worked for Battlefield 1, but they don't need to... The reason why they needed to do it for Battlefield 1 is because since it's World War I, they don't have as much equipment to play around with, and they needed to get creative with how the roles were established. Even though they wound up creating everything anyway with the rocket gun, being the anti-tank rifle and, all this sort of shit. There were a lot of ideas in Battlefield 1 that worked for what it was, but also it didn't work in general. What they needed to do was they needed to go back to Battlefield 3, they needed to go back to 2142, really. They needed to go back to the older games, Bad Company 2 as well. I really like it made me actually miss the Bad Company 2's, classes. Because I'm that guy who plays the engineer class, and I'm like, okay, you give me an SMG, a wrench, a landmine, and a rocket launcher. And I'm good. That class doesn't exist anymore. That class is in like 4 different fucking places in Battlefield 2. I mean, Battlefield 5. And it doesn't really work in any of those cases. It's kind of annoying, really. And we had to talk about this in the Discord about how the assault player is... The assault player is fucking with things, but you can't give the... You kinda can't really, in good faith, give the support player the ability to heal and give ammo at the same time. But we kinda established that you kinda could. So really what they need to do is they need to go back to Bad Company's... At least Battlefield 3's system for classes, or better yet, Bad Company 2's system if they want to keep the 4 classes. They either need to do that, they need to basically make the medic Jesus, or they need to add a 5th class. Those are their options, but Battlefield 5 is an absolute failure in terms of gameplay in a lot of areas, aside from the gunplay. And like I said, if that's the only thing you wanted, it's there, but it's about the only thing the game does well. Honestly, I could have made that video like literally an hour of me talking, but I wanted to make it somewhat quick, but it still wound up being 20 minutes with how I gave you the one solitary single moment that I had fun, genuine fun in Battlefield 5, and it was being fucking useless and screwing around. It's a disaster and a waste. But, well, now we gotta kill more boats here, but at least both of our fleets are doing fine. Both fleets are doing perfectly fine. So once again, we're gonna send the second fleet out here to do stuff. Like I said, Battlefield, like the Battlefield developers, even if they have jobs after this, really, it's probably not gonna be that bad, but this is not gonna go over well. This game is going to fucking bomb. It feels like it's gonna bomb. Most people say, oh, it's not gonna bomb, it's still gonna sell adequately, and it's just not gonna be an amazing success. Really, the more we see and the closer we get to the launch of this game, it really does feel like it might just bomb as bad as Battlefront 2. But the thing is, they need to look at sim games, and I don't mean they need simulator gameplay, but they need to realize what makes a slow game work. Because all of the additions for Battlefield 5 want to make it a slower game, they just don't want to slow down their gunplay. which is the main thing accelerating everything. And in Battlefield 5, it just straight up doesn't work with what they were doing. Everyone just complains about either the game forcing them to slow down or the game being so fast that that half the things they're trying to do are worthless. Like, one of the other things was squad revives are actually suicidal. They take way too long and you're likely to be gunned down while you're trying to save your squad mates. I wouldn't doubt it, Combat Turtle. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if Battlefield 5 bombs hard enough, DICE is out the window. I would not put it past them. It may not happen, but, you know, it's still gonna sell 1 million copies or whatever. But, you know, a couple million copies, but the general opinion for the game is not going to be good on launch. I guarantee you the general opinion of the game is not going to be good on launch. And they're gonna, you're gonna see this, as you see with a lot of games, that, oh, it's just starting out, and, you know, if you stick with it, it'll probably get better as things goes on. Battlefield 5 is not worth that college try. It's really not worth it. It's a game designed for, honestly, I don't know who it's designed for, but it pleases no one. Well, at least Yorktown's holding together this time pretty well. Yeah, basically it is a situation of if you try to make love, if you open the window and try to make love to the world, you'll catch pneumonia. You're trying to please way too many people. But I don't, honestly, it's dishonestly pleasing too many people too. They want to seem progressive with their marketing by putting a woman on the cover, and that's the only reason there's a woman on the cover. There's no practical reason why there would be a woman on the cover other than to pander to people. You saw the really rather negative reaction to that. I'm not even leaning towards the bigoted one. I'm leaning towards the, you know, women really, well, you know, they did stuff during World War II, but if we're gonna concentrate on Western, you know, the Western Allies, women were, oh, Königsberg. Women weren't exactly, you know, the poster children for what was going on in the middle of Europe. Yeah, sure, French resistance, but that's basically just one part of it. The Western armies, again, most, if not all Western armies did not have women in combat roles during World War II. And this has never been a thing before, and really, someone wanted to be progressive and they thought they could win points, but honestly, it seems like it's mostly backfired. Königsberg herself. Oh lord. Oh lord. Oh lord. Rating 10 sick. Okay. Maybe everyone sees me like M, but I really like she. What the hell's going on there? Yeah, As they felt it was a man's war. That's an interesting comment, Azarin. Right, yes, we did have nurses. Yeah, obviously we had nurses. Right, so let's see here. Remember how she got sank by 70-year-old old Norwegians and a 150-year-old battery? Yeah, I remember that. Oh boy. Oof. Oh, oof. 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 Mature ships, best ships. You know, maybe not, but you know what? I'm gonna, you know, he deserves he deserves support for that opinion. Nuts in German. Okay, yeah, here we go. Getting around banned words with leet speak, right? Wow, 4 stars. I did not see that coming. Neither did I. Detonates in German. Isn't history fun? With you and Prince Eugen, we'll take Stalingrad. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh no, Mr. Kennedy, please, please. That's too savage. Please. Königsberg is rightful German land. Unzip zipper. Granny Katori. Oh boy. Get in, loser, we're taking the Rhineland. Okay, right. This degeneracy, my goodness. This level of degeneracy. That's another good point, Gun Show. Yeah, most of the women during World War II were at home actually changing the social dynamic of, well, most of the Western countries because they were actually in factory roles and, you know, women working. Women working was a bigger thing than women on the front lines. Again, not to insult the women that actually served in combat roles in World War II, but that was kind of the bigger thing. And as we can all admit, it's mainly, really, it's just for pandering. That's the only reason they put a woman on the cover of Battlefield 5, because there's no logical reason for it. Königsberger's a punish me, oh Jesus Christ. Being this smug should not be allowed. I'm gonna have to agree, and we're gonna have to sign a treaty, but welcome Königsberg. These comments are incredibly degenerate. But, ooh, that's a scary one. I'm gonna leave that to the primary fleet. What about the Russian squadron of women pilots? Yeah, the Night Witches. I know they're there, but again, Battlefield 5 is not about the Eastern Front. It's about the Western Front. It's about Northern Europe, basically. That has nothing to do with the Russians. Shit, we're not even in France.